So they're on their way to the first of the 19 fences. This first fence they jumped 3 times. It's fence number 110 and 19th and final obstacle. As they run to it this time, it's Rubstick, the Vintner, Callback and Castle Arch. The first 4 to go over it, followed by Tommy Joe. Then comes Bob Job, followed by Sir Barry. And in the early stages, Bishop Horn and also Sparkies Choice just bringing up the rear as they go past the winning post the first time. Castle Arch in the lead with Tommy Carmody. Then comes Rubstick, Callback in 3rd place. The Vintner 4, Bob Job and Tommy Joe racing together 4, 5 and 6. They're running now towards the water, which they jumped twice, with Castle Arch in the lead, being followed by Rubstick. And so the first 2 come to it, followed by Callback, Tommy Joe. Then comes the Vintner, Capmandu on the inside of Bob Job. Then comes Ramblin' Jack, followed by Sir Barry, Good Prospects, Doubly Royal. And the last 3, Bishop's Pawn, Jack's Flutter against the rails. And between those 2, Sparky's Choice. 5 fences down the far side. Castle Arch in the lead from Rubstick and Callback. 4 is Tommy Joe, then comes the Vintner, Capmandu on the inside. And this is a plain fence. All safely over that one. And the last 2 or 3 were Bishop's Pawn, Jack's Flutter and Sparky's Choice. On towards another plain fence, after which they'll take on an open ditch. Castle Arch in the lead from Rubstick, Callback, Tommy Joe, Bob Job, Capmandu jumped it a little bit slowly and deliberately, but safely over as they face up now towards the first open ditch. It's Castle Arch in the lead from Rubstick, Tommy Joe, Bob Job, Callback. Then just in behind them comes the Vintner. And on the far side, Ramblin' Jack, who just fiddled that one. And Jack's Flutter is gone. Jack's Flutter is a faller there. And so they run now towards another plain fence. And it's Castle Arch in the lead from Rubstick, Tommy Joe, Callback. They're followed by Sir Barry. Then comes Bob Job. Bob Job is then followed by Ramblin' Jack. Then comes Good Prospects, Doubly Royal, Capmandu, Bishop's Pawn. And the last 2 now is the Vintner with Sparky's Choice. Plain fence in front of them. And Castle Arch continues to lead. And they're all safely over it. And so as they make the bottom turn, Tommy Carmody on Castle Arch continues to lead. And he in turn is still being followed by Rubstick. Then comes Tommy Joe. Callback lies in 4th place. After leading 4 is Ramblin' Jack. Ramblin' Jack is then followed by Bob Job. Then comes Sir Barry on the outside of Good Prospects. Then just in behind them is Doubly Royal. And towards the rear of the field, Capmandu, Sparky's Choice and the Vintner. And Bishop's Pawn 4 from last as they come now towards the first in the straight. And it's Castle Arch in the lead from Rubstick, Callback and Tommy Joe. Castle Arch jumping well in front. They're all safely over that one. Next is an open ditch. Castle Arch continues to lead and still being followed by Rubstick, Tommy Joe on the far side, Callback on the near side. Then comes Sir Barry, followed by Capmandu, who's improved again with Bob Job. And then on the outside, Ramblin' Jack. Good Prospect comes next. Doubly Royal, the Vintner, Sparky's Choice and Bishop's Pawn. This will be the last next time round. Castle Arch leads at this one yet again from Rubstick and Tommy Joe. After that is Callback. Callback is then followed by Sir Barry and Capmandu. On the outside, the white face of Ramblin' Jack. Then comes Bob Job, followed by Doubly Royal. And also Good Prospect. Then comes Sparky's Choice. And the 2 behind Sparky's Choice are Bishop's Pawn and the Vintner. That's the order as they run away now to the water for the second and last time. Sparky's Choice having a nice lead round here, Bruff, isn't he, as they come now to the water?
Yes, the problem with him is going to be how he jumps when they quicken up, because they're certainly the operation is going to have to quicken now. Sir Barry just dropped his hind legs in the water there. And old Castle Arch, well, he's 8 years old. He hasn't run since March the 7th, but Tommy Carmody's cruising him along in front there. He's got a pretty useful-looking lead if he was 100% fit. It's a long lead. One expects him to come back to them soon. If he doesn't come back in the next couple of fences, well, they might just have given him a little bit too much rope. The horse hasn't run for a long time. You think, oh, well, he'll come back to us. But he's going to have to quite soon. Ramblin' Jack hasn't been jumping well. He's getting back into the action now, but he hasn't jumped very well, and neither has Sparky's Choice. They're going to have to put the cope well when the pressure comes up. Castle Arch in front now as they go back to John.
So they've jumped 13 fences. They're on towards the open ditch on the far side. Castle Arch now being pursued by Tommy Joe. Then comes Rubstick. Ramblin' Jack now improving. Then comes Sir Barry and Doubly Royal, Good Prospect and Callback. And Tommy Joe very nearly on terms there with Castle Arch as they run over the open ditch, but they have 2 more fences on the far side. Castle Arch and Tommy Joe together. Tommy Joe comes out of it fractionally the better, has a slight advantage, and so they have 1 more fence on the far side to take, 4 in all, and it's Tommy Joe now in the lead from Castle Arch in 2nd place. Good Prospect also improves to be 3rd in front of Ramblin' Jack. Those four safely low, followed by W Royal. Then comes Sparky's Choice, who now picks up ground. And as I look back, the last to jump in on the far side was the Vintner. And so the order now on the homeward turn is Tommy Joe in the lead from Good Prospects. And Sparky's Choice continues to make ground, now goes third past W Royal. And the leading four are then followed by Ramblin' Jack. Then comes Bob Job and the early leader Castle Arch. And so they're running now toward the third last. And it's Chris Pimlett on Tommy Joe in the lead. Now being taken on by Sparky's Choice, who comes up on the outer with Colin Hawkins. And so that's the first two. Then comes Good Prospect. It's the third from home. Tommy Joe, Sparky's Choice, the first two over, followed by Good Prospects. Then comes W Royal, Bob Job, and Ramblin' Jack. Two to go as they run now towards the second last. Sparky's Choice right on terms with Tommy Joe as they come out of it. There's little to choose between it. Tommy Joe on the far side, Sparky's Choice on the near side. They have one to go as they run now towards this final fence. It's Sparky's Choice on the near side, a fractional leader from Tommy Joe. Let's see how they come out of it. Sparky's Choice got the advantage. He's running on now and definitely leading by about a length with about 100 yards still to go. It's Sparky's Choice going away from Tommy Joe. Bob Job's going to finish third as they come towards the line. Sparky's Choice wins it from Tommy Joe in second place. Bob Job over in third. Gorbeck four. After them, Good Prospect, Bishop Bourne, Rubstick, W Royal, Ramblin' Jack. Then comes Sir Barry. After Sir Barry, then comes Captain Dew. And the last couple over are Castle Arch, the